Welcome to this short video for AES Marine Science section 3.2, where we go a little deeper about marine science and respiration. And this can be found in our marine textbook on the pages 71 to and including 73. If you want to read up on this yourself, and I of course suggest that you always do that. So, if you remember our video about photosynthesis, we're going to talk now in this reverse version of it, respiration. Respiration is where a living organism burns an organic carbon compound using energy and thereby releasing energy. And the formula and word form is glucose plus oxygen releases energy and gives us carbon dioxide and water as a byproduct. Now the smart student might realize this one here is actually photosynthesis in reverse. If you see it as a formula, C6H12O6 plus 6O2 makes ADP to ATP, thereby making energy for the cell. Create 6 CO2 plus 6 water. This is exactly the reverse formula of photosynthesis. If you flip this one around, you got the formula for photosynthesis. So this makes it easier to remember. If you just remember the formula for photosynthesis, you can also always remember the formula for respiration just by flipping it around. But this just says that if we burn sugar or another carbon compound using oxygen, we will release CO2 and water. Now, this is important even when we talk about our primary producers. When we talk about primary producers, we talk about the fact that they can capture light energy and thereby, by using CO2 and water, they can make glucoses and release oxygen as their waste product. But even primary producers will also do respiration. There can be periods with less light, during night for example. There can be periods where the energy demand is high. So plants can also do, or algae can also do respiration. And because of that, the total amount of photosynthesis that happens in the ocean is not the same as the total amount of oxygen being produced, because when the algae do respiration, they also use oxygen themselves. Luckily for us, they make more oxygen than they use. This means that when we talk about what we call our net productivity, how much is produced by the algae in form of sugar and oxygen, we look at the total, the gross primary production, and when we subtract how much the algae themselves respirate. And it looks something like this. Here I draw a graph, and if you want to look at the book, this is figure 3.10 in your textbook. And it shows that here I have my productivity and here I have my depth. And we see that productivity is high at the surface. It goes a little up as we go down 10-20 meters, usually due to a high amount of nutrients. And then productivity of course goes down as the amount of light starts to fade. We also see here we have a gross and our net, and the difference between these two are the amount of respiration done by the algae. What we find here is at a certain depth, here around 80 meters, we found our compensation point. It means that at this point here, there is still photosynthesis happening, but it's just too little compared to the respiration to actually keep up any amount of primary production. Below this point, there is too little light for primary production to have a major role. So, just to sum it up, algae and plants do photosynthesis, but they also do respiration. And photosynthesis happens in the top of the ocean, respiration because animals do it, will happen all the way down through the ocean, and that's something we'll have to talk about later. Thank you very much for staying with me.